Howdy, y'all. Did you miss me? Well, if you missed me, you'd better aim again, because I'm still alive. I got people in. We're killing the music. Howdy, Piper on the 45. Great to see you, sir. Ah, yeah, I know. I started maybe a little early, which is absolutely insane when you consider that this is one of those that goes for 2.5 hours. Or at least until Twitter and Prism app and YouTube figure out that I'm on here live and they decide to screw with me. Like they did yesterday. Oh, yes, sir. I'm doing great. How about yourself? And I do mean I'm doing great. Absolutely fantastic. A little bit of allergies. But the lawn got mowed, stirred up grass, and I'm allergic to it, so it is what it is. Howdy, Steve and Miss Kathy. Great to see the both of y'all. I would be smoking cigars that people have sent me, except for the fact that this particular live stream, 2.5 hours, tends to work out better with a Churchill. Now, again, I am going with the venerable Romeo y Julieta 1875. And that is nothing to do with everybody else having sent me these fine cigars. Don't think that I'm not going to smoke them. I'm going to smoke them. I appreciate y'all doing that. You don't have to. And it still bugs me that you've done it, but I'm not going to tell anybody. If you want to, out of the kindness of your heart, to send me something, that's cool. I appreciate it. But I am not going to A, ask, and B, I am not going to try and piss y'all off by sending it back to you. I mean, I thought about it. Don't get me wrong, I thought about it. But a friendly gesture, sending somebody tobacco or cigars or a pipe or various nice things. Howdy, Mark. Great to see you, sir. That's like a mainstay here in the YTBC. There are so many GAWs going on at all times, year round. there are so many good content creators out here that are constantly putting out more videos. One I haven't mentioned in a while, Ghost Cobb. He's got one that shows up every Friday. I watch it every Friday. I click on everybody that he's said, hey, sub this person. Cool, why not? He's also a pretty good judge of character. Normally we don't see him here in Tailgating, but I've seen him a couple times. I was pretty shocked when I did. And as per normal, we are going to have some background noise. I can't do much about the bus showing up. Trying to drop off kids that aren't on the bus. Come back in an hour. Don't worry, they'll be back in about an hour. But that's one of the best things about the YTPC is the people. I mean, sure, it's a YouTube pipe community, and we do generally tend to gravitate towards pipes, but we've got various different interests. Steve likes to reinvent Missouri Meerschaum cobs and turn them into something that's way better than what it originally started out as. Mark likes to create flutes. Okay, they're expensive, but if you saw the work that went into them, you would understand. And then when you realize that he's actually tuned it to a certain key, and when you see somebody that can really play those flutes, actually playing it. Howdy, Derek and Bob. Great to see the both of you. I mean, yeah, that's just two people who are right here in this chat. We could go on for 2.5 hours naming various different people and stuff that they're good at that has nothing at all to do with smoking a pipe. And if y'all ever want to, we'll do that. Me, I'm pretty good at just being annoying. I promise, I am. Oh. We're going to cut this, and I'm going to cut it just perfectly. But for the fine detail work, I got to go without the glasses. And okay, yep. A little sliver there that's got to come out, yep. And then I can save that little piece of tobacco that I just cut out for later. And I'll be able to smoke that in a pipe. Now, glasses back on so I can see what's going on. Bob, I do use a V-cut from time to time, but I tend to use that on bellicosos and torpedoes. The ones that come to a point. Because it's so much harder to cut those with anything else other than a V-cut. But I tend to just reserve that type of cut for those type of sticks. Okay, Mark, that's cool. See, here's some things that I wouldn't know because I run everything through my phone. Sure, I sit right here, I run everything through my phone. Okay, there's times where I also drive around. But I tend not to do those because all you end up hearing from me is a bunch of F-bombs. A bunch of idiots out there that can't drive their way out of a wet paper sack with a Bowie knife and a chainsaw. I've experienced that just today. And yes, while I do like a V cut, I prefer what is the Calibre V cut. It's got a deeper V. The Zycar one is good, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to piss anybody off with that. If you have a Zycar one and you like it, it's great. There's some really cheap ones out there that do just a fine job. It won't do a fine job for very long, but it does a fine job. What I like about the Calibre is that I prefer it. That's my preference. It's like somebody who says, I prefer lane 1Q. Well, that's great. Whereas Chad Neverett will be saying, I prefer Haunted Bookshop. No big deal. Martin prefers Stonehaven. Glenn decidedly prefers not Stonehaven. The only thing he would smoke less than Stonehaven is, of course, Captain Black Grape. But Willie will smoke Captain Black Grape. So when I say that I have a preference in a cutter, that's not to say that yours is wrong or that yours is not good. That's to say that of all of the V cuts that I've used over the years, everything from the cheap as hell $5, you could maybe get through a box of cigars with it, to the, oh God, there was one that I went to a shop and you set the cigar in it and you pull a handle and it would V-cut. I have no idea how much that one cost, but I heard that it was around $500. Howdy, Chip. Great to see you, sir. Right, H.H. Old Dark Fired. I mean, there's a whole lot of Sir Walter Riley. I mean, look, everybody has a preference. And I'm never going to tell you that your preference is wrong. It might be wrong for me, and my preference might be wrong for you. But a preference is similar to a palate. What your mouth says is right for you is not going to be right for everybody else. It doesn't make you wrong and them right, or vice versa. It just makes the right choice for you different than somebody else. Really? Yeah, I can believe that he would definitely be really, really confused by someone saying, hey, I want to study it too. Where are you digging? Punch Rare Corojo. Very nice. Just remember, it's got a little bit of strength, so if you're not used to a strong cigar, make sure you got a little bit of a sugary something to drink, just in case, because if you start getting that head woozy feeling, that's your blood sugar either spiking or bottoming out. And honey under the tongue, it's similar to the way diabetics would regulate it. But that's true with anything that says punch. They've always made a bit of a stronger cigar. That is true, Mark. That is very true. And Zippo, yeah. Believe me, there's been plenty of people that have tried a punch for the first time and have gone, "Ooh, crap." It happens. Now I'm going to give y'all a preview. What I will be smoking later tonight when y'all hear me say that I am smoking a certain pipe and you're going like, what the hell is he talking about? VR 0121. I made this one last year from a block. It has some nice bird's eye on the side, both sides, and some nice flame grain kind of throughout. And it's got a few flaws. Like one right there and one right there. And I mean, you know what? Little sand pit down in the stem that couldn't be seen, that allows that gunk to come up on the pipe. Not much that I can do about it. And if you're wondering why it is the 01 and it is such a big pipe, well, I was looking at the block when I first saw it, and I said, you know what? I'm going to make it about the same size as a General Cobb and see how well that works. Howdy, Tony. Great to see you, sir. And no, I'm not trying to show off any pipes. Howdy, Southern Piper. Great to see you, too. And Jeff. Great to see you, sir. I'm feeling blessed that y'all even want to hang out with me. I'm not gonna lie about it. That's awesome. Of course, today I'll be using again Mr. Stumbo's cigar holder that he sent me. They work great. If you're doing something and you have a really limited space and you just need an extra spot to put a cigar, they work fantastic. Highly suggested. I did not get this lit. There we go. Now it's lit. Well, Southern, I appreciate it, but normally when I'm in the car listening to somebody talk, I'm hoping to catch a couple of news bulletins. Of course, that's because in Houston, traffic can go from great to sucky in bare minimum seconds, and it's always a help to know what traffic's doing. That is true, Mark. Helping Amber get through college, because college ain't cheap. Worthy enough cause, period. And just think, that's a young lady with a good head on her shoulders. She's going to probably go pretty far in this world. She's got a goal. She's working towards that goal. She's doing a very diligent job of it. You don't get to be turning in a 5-year degree in 2.5 years by just lollygagging around at it. No, that's a lot of work. And then to have the good enough grades that she's keeping them up and got herself a couple of scholarships that are making it happen. I'm telling you, there we go. And when I'm too old to work, can't do anything anymore, people like her will be running the country. I'd like to know some of those that really should be running the country instead of, God, some of the garbage we've been having lately. It doesn't matter. Politicians and diapers. Y'all know the drill. They're both full of shit and they both need to be changed often. But Derek, younger to a point. Younger so that they literally had a job as a YouTube influencer and that's all they've ever done, or well, in the case of somebody from New York, they were basically a cute waitress, and some of the things they say make you wonder if they graduated kindergarten. I mean, I think career politicians need to be shoved out of that career and put into the working world where they are forced to actually work for that money. Because a lot of that would be their whole idea of what happens there, those career politicians, that would all change. Because, oh, hell no, I can't live on this pension. You know, they vote themselves a pension to ridiculous amounts of money, and think about it. Senators. Now, this is not saying one or the other. This is all of them. A senator worth $225,000 4 years later, only making $225,000 a year, is worth $8 million. Show me how you can turn $225,000 a year into $8 million of what you're actually worth. There's no way you can do that, not legally. Are you playing the stock market with your insider trading info? Hey, Steve, if that's what he can do and it works for him, I'm all for it. It works. And yes, I do believe in term limits. I believe in some severe term limits. I think an 8-year term limit is plenty enough. If you haven't done anything in 8 years anyways, you're not going to do anything. Oh yeah, all the way down. If you want to be a career politician and you start at the lowest level, 8 years and you have to literally make a jump someplace else. By the time you've done 20 years, you're out. You're done. Unless you're president. That would maybe give you out to the 30 mark, tops. I mean, they're all taking kickbacks. They're all getting little bits of this, that, the other. I don't care how you view it. I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican, Independent, sci-fiist. I don't care. You look at the money that they had when they started and look at the money that they have 4 years later and note what their total paycheck was while they were in office. And you will see that every last one of them is worth more money than they could have made legally unless they were just plain straight ultra lucky. Don't get me wrong, there are some people out there that got really lucky. But you know, it doesn't happen that often. I mean, if you're on the Armed Services Committee and some aircraft manufacturer wants you to approve their product over one of their competitors, you can almost guarantee that somewhere under the table it's happened. If you're on the FDA committee and some medical company wants to get their new wonder drug that's actually harmful passed, I mean, all you got to do then is manufacture a pandemic or you know, oh wait, I shouldn't talk about stuff like that. People will think I'm talking about COVID. No, I'm talking about corruption. The crazy things that are happening. That is not always true, Mark. I've been poor before. I've been really poor before. And thieves know better than to even get near me. Like I said, I one time left my wallet at home, got to work. On the way back home from work, I was out of gas. And I mean real bad out of gas. And I stopped at a gas station and I told a guy, look, I'll put 2 hours worth of work in for 2 gallons worth of gas. And gas was not that $3 and something cents a gallon at the time. Shoot, back then I had a little Geo Metro. It was not a gas guzzling car. Yeah, I told him, look, I left my wallet at home, but I'm not going to make it home. There's no way. But you give me the crappiest jobs you've got, and I'll put 2 hours worth of work in if I can have 2 gallons worth of gas. That's all I'm wanting, 2 gallons. And that guy turned around and he said, you know what, you could have 5 gallons. Just go out and fill it up. I'm good with it. Because you're showing that you're that kind of a person that would take care of it and just do it. Derek, you're exactly right. It had a 3-cylinder engine. Hell yeah. Howdy, Todd. Great to see you, sir. Oh, well, right. Mark, I mean, there's always reasons. But, yeah, I mean, so the gas station attendant gave me 5 gallons worth of gas. I made it home, and I showed up at that gas station every day until I could find that guy again. And sure enough, I found him, and I paid him back for 5 gallons of premium, even though he gave me 5 gallons of regular. He didn't have to. He could have said, push the damn thing, get it off my lot. I probably would have had to have pushed it. Luckily, it was a Geo Metro. It was light. I could have pushed it. But I was still 10 miles from home, and I didn't want to push that far. You had a 96? Mine might have been a 96, might have been a 97. I don't remember. I know I got 50 freaking miles to the gallon with 4 people in it at whatever speed I wanted to drive. Did not matter. I could get 50 miles to the gallon. Just don't go uphill. Oh yeah, light little bitty car. Great fun though. And it could off-road. Surprising for most people, they're thinking, really? You would take a Geo Metro off-roading? Oh yeah, it was good at it. Because it didn't weigh nothing. Crowdfunding. I am hoping that I never have to be in any kind of situation where I would need crowdfunding. Quite honestly, I think I'm never going to be in a situation where I'm going to need crowdfunding. Let's be honest. I live cheaply. Most of the stuff that I want, I could either make it, grow it, or create it myself. Most of. Derek, yes, that's true. It was made to fall apart in a quick hurry if you got too crazy. But if you needed to go out across a field and you could kind of edge up onto the curb a little bit and get it up there, you were good to go. Howdy, Steph. Great to see you, ma'am. Mark, that's true. I'm technically crowdfunding a government that tends to look at the bottom end of where that money's come from and go, yeah, we don't care. So, Steph, how long until Skip comes home? We are wanting to see y'all together, of course. And heck, if he's up in Connecticut, he ain't. I mean, I'm not sure. Is he on the coast or more off towards the middle? 3 to 6 weeks. Okay. Well, if he's offshore, then no, he's not going to be able to visit anybody out there. But wouldn't that be a kick in the pants to see some pictures from one of John Harden's favorite parks? Damn it, Steve. Now, that's living poor. Well, Steph, know that more than just me are going to be praying for his safe return. Though it's starting to warm up in that general area, so it's too early for the bad storms. It's too late in the season for ice. He should be okay. Oh, there it's that sounds pretty good, Steph. Is that y'all's spring break, or is that a no, Easter? That's right, Easter. Easter should be about then. Huva ilta, Boris. Great to see you, sir. Now, for those of you who are thinking, what the hell is he talking about with that title? It is 81 degrees today. Started off at 45 here at the house. 81 already. Boris, it's a warm summer day, brother. But don't worry. I was thinking about you and hoping that your wintry mix that you said was coming in can pass through and you can have springtime and great weather. And Steph can back me up that it's pretty warm outside right now. Kind of unseasonably warm. 80 doesn't normally happen around here until mid-April. Derek, I try not to leave the house when it's 37 degrees. That's cold. Well, for Houston. Still above freezing. That's a good thing, Boris. That's a good thing. Ooh, nice. So are you getting ready for your GAW, Mr. Todd Arnold? I'm looking forward to watching it. Again, though, yes, Phil Rivera pipes are on my bucket list. I personally will not be getting into participating in Todd's GAW. Now, I'm going to tell people about it. I'm going to hope that a lot of people go find Todd's channel and they really enjoy hanging out with him. But I want when I get a Phil Rivera, when I get a Jason Mouton, when I get an LCS, when I get an Eric Weaver, you know, those artisans, I'm pretty sure that I'm going to say, quote me a price. I want you to make a pipe you think I would like. I don't care what it looks like. I want you to make something you're happy with. And then I'll come up with the money. And it's not because I don't want a Phil Rivera. No, I want a Phil Rivera. Seriously, I would love to have a Phil Rivera. I just don't want to win one. And I don't want that to off-put anybody. It's an awesome pipe. I know it's an awesome pipe. I haven't seen it. It's an awesome pipe. It came from Phil Rivera. His worst pipe is better than my best pipe. And my best pipe's pretty good. Woo, Boris. You're saying anything over 77 is considered heat. Houston doesn't even talk about it being hot until it gets to, around 100. Uh-oh. Steve's talking about shooting the bolt. Or riding a bolt. So y'all heard it here, well, maybe second, possibly first. Hopefully, Steve and Miss Kathy will be going live tomorrow around 11 a.m. Central Time. I kind of miss them a lot. I liked hanging out on their deck with them. I know y'all got busy, things happened, and certain things have to take a step to the side. Hey, if I get that job I applied for, I might not be doing as many tailgates as I'm doing. Not trying to worry anybody, but you'll know about it before it happens. I promise I'm not going to just suddenly one day not be there tailgating. Oh, Steph, I can only imagine. And with you being a teacher, there's all that extra time you got to put in that you don't get paid for. I know how that works. Part of the reason why I couldn't be a teacher. Oh, in case you're wondering what's in the glass, it's just ginger ale. I thought about something stronger, but I decided, nah, not this time. With the little bit of allergies I've got right now, I just, I'll be all right. And Steph, do know that the whole YTPC misses you and Skip. Oh yeah, Steph, believe me, I understand completely. Yo, Steve got his spurs fixed. Living on the edge there, Steve. Just remember, no Captain Black grape in the house, because you like your hair on top of your head instead of tacked to the post out there letting everybody know absolutely no Captain Black grape in the house. I'm not allowed to smoke in the house, so, you know. Part of the reason why I said, look, I'll go out the coldest day and I'll still smoke. Because if I'm going to get a smoke, it doesn't really matter. I'm still going to have to go outside for it. Derek, I'm right there with you, brother. I am only a half step above Quasimodo. And I guess if I had a hump on my back and could make some goofy face and I was strong as an ox, maybe I'd have more money. Very true, Mark. Very true. Especially about stress. I see so many people stressing about work constantly. I used to be there as well. Of course, Holly told me I had to quit that job because they were out to kill me, and she was going to get a call one day from somewhere in Texas saying, yeah, we found your husband. Yeah, he looks like he fell asleep at the wheel and crashed into a ditch somewhere, and he's dead. Yep. Sorry about your luck. Steve, if it's at all possible that Holly is not awake at 10 a.m. in the morning, my time, that's Central Time, then I will see as much as I can about putting a tailgate in. Because it'd be fun. It'd be fun to hang out with y'all. I like doing it. I like hanging out with y'all. And that's part of what tailgating's really about, is me knowing that I'm going to be hanging out with whoever's showing up next. I mean, I hang out with Glum Chum right after this, which is why this one ends up being 2.5 hours. And if anybody was to decide that they wanted to go live somewhere between, let's call it 4 and whenever they felt like they had had enough, 4:30 and whenever they had enough, 5, whenever, then I'd be tailgating for you. And that's just the way it's going to be. Oh, and why do I go live at 3 o'clock on Fridays? Well, Chad kind of started that because he would go live at 4 o'clock my time. And I figured I'd tailgate for Chad. And then Chad decided he didn't really want to do the scheduled show. He just wanted to be able to do it whenever he had time and felt like it. No big deal. I mean, there it is. I appreciate it, Mark, but I don't think I'm doing all that much. I'm just trying to provide a space and a time for people to kick back and unwind and get together and talk about whatever. Believe me, if you show up here and you're ready to tailgate and the topic is something that you don't want to talk about, chime in. Hey, can we talk about? And say anything that you want to talk about. Even if I've got really limited knowledge on such things. You'll find out that the next week I will have studied some. I mean, okay, I understand. Music. I have a very seriously limited supply of music in my head. Not my fault. I'm not good with names. Well, what's most of music trivia is names. Oh, Mark, I'm not shortchanging myself. I'm just being honest about it. I like hanging out with y'all. Plus, let's be honest, y'all keep me sane. While Holly's at work, I can't actually have a conversation with her. There's my mother-in-law. Having a conversation with her is difficult at best. Sometimes they're very entertaining, but you know, it is what it is. I could talk to the cats. Generally, this time of day, they're preparing to take a nap or telling me that they need more cookies, or looking at me like, hey, dumbass, the bowl's empty. Fill that thing. Not a problem, Steph. We're just hanging out. Just talking, chatting. Was there any issue? Hopefully it was just nothing more than like a squirrel in the yard. You know how dogs like squirrels. Squirrel! I'm a bit more of a dog person than I am a cat person. Don't get me wrong. I like my cats just fine. But I know how to handle dogs. And dogs understand the whole alpha relationship. There's that bus that came through. Remember I said about an hour? Well, it's about an hour. Now, there's a lot of people out there that don't understand that dogs are basically pack animals, and if you're not a leader, they're not going to follow. Those people tend to do all this extra crazy stuff for their dogs. Is that wrong? No, but if you want to be the dog follower, that's fine. My dogs always knew I was the alpha. You'll do what I say. We're going to do it this way, and that's the way it's going to be. My dogs lived good lives. They always seemed to be happy. But if I went for a walk with them, I didn't even have to have a leash. They saw a squirrel, they would see it, they would point at it, but they wouldn't go running off into someone's backyard chasing that damn squirrel down. Howdy, Sharon. Great to see you, ma'am. Hopefully you're doing well. Is Paul at work? And hopefully we will see him here in a little while. Actually, for a little bit of time while I was completely underemployed, I worked for a lot of these rich people here in this general area. Training their dogs to go from being the pack leader to understanding their role as one of the pack. Part of it, though, was training the humans to stop acting like the follower and start acting like the leader. It's easy with dogs. You assert yourself. You show them that you are the pack leader, and they know it. Boris, that's not a problem. Again, there's no rules about tailgating. It's come in and hang out when you feel like it. Because that's just the truth. I mean, and I understand there's people all over the planet, and they, 24 different time zones, let's be honest, not everybody's going to be here. Some of them are working, some of them are sleeping, some of them are eating dinner, some of them are eating breakfast. That's why I go on at 3 o'clock. I know that people in Europe are closing out their night, and I try to make it so that they can still feel like we're doing lives for them. More than just, because let's be honest, most of the lives go off in American time. That is true, Mark. The alpha, the strongest one, the leader of the pack. And in dog world, you want to either be the alpha or the omega. Very similar to wolves. There is the leader, and then there is basically the one that allows everything else to happen, but if they speak at all, everybody just says, "Oh, crap." I'm afraid I would probably get arrested for trying to run a live stream butt naked. Mostly because I'm out here in the front yard. Might give the old lady across the street heart palpitations. She's on oxygen. I don't need to kill anybody. Oh yeah, just keep the cam above the waist, but then when the cat wants out and I stand up and forget. Whether the cat needs out or not, of course I would stand up. I got nothing to be ashamed of. I am male. Take an anatomy or a biology course, you should pretty much know about what all that crap looks like. And I'm in shape. Geometrically speaking, round is a shape, so I'm good. Yeah, see, Steph has pretty much vetoed you there. Well, Southern, I'm not a biologist, but I took a biology class in high school. Okay, it was AP biology. Everybody except for my school counselor thought I was going to fail that course, except for me and my school counselor. My school counselor was like, "I've got it figured out. You're just bored as hell. That's why you don't turn in any homework. You don't have to. You can sit back and forget everything that happened, and oh my God, look at that. He's going to ace that final and still pass." Steph, you're not fat. Just stop it. Stop it. Well, Mark, hopefully all the mowing happened yesterday. Oh, and I'm I'm sorry if the dogs barking across the street are having your dogs going a little bit crazy. Well, Steph, I was just feeling my fat. Does that help? I was doing this to my belly. Yep, I'm still fat. Now, Steph, this is one of the few times I'm going to agree with a guy over a girl on their own body type. Is women tend to have this unnatural craziness about, I feel fat. And quite honestly, your man does not see it that way. Whoever your man is, he does not see it that way. Boris, I'm pretty sure YTPC nude is not going to happen. Ashes to the nether regions is just not really my idea of a good time. I'm having the hardest time today keeping this cigar lit. I think I need to replace the humidipack in my travel humidor. That would probably help. And it's got a little bit of a tight draw. Woo! There you go, Steve. But that's hitting below the belt, isn't it? Howdy, Paul. We were just talking about you. Or at least Boris was. He said that you can host the YTPC nudity channel in your thongs. Me personally, I'm not going to be wearing a thong either. Paul's in. Steph, that might not be too... hiccups. Sorry. What I was going to say is, Steph, that might not be too bad of an idea. Boris doing a sauna how-to. Just can't keep this cigar lit. Okay, I'm gonna stop fighting it. Give me a little bit. I will be right back with a different cigar. Because obviously this one's not going to smoke today. It happens. Even the best sticks sometimes screw up. Here we go. Get something completely different. Okay. We're going to switch gears and move to a Intemperance by Romacraft. Well, Mark, I'm afraid that if I reach down and grab stones like that, it would end up being kidney stones. And I don't want them. I don't want them. That's all there is to that. I don't want them. So see, now Steph's got Boris in with the, okay, we're good with going nude, long as it's a sauna. So, you know what? I'll figure out a way to finish this one off some other time. But if it's going to be this difficult and need this many relights, it's just not the right stick for right now. That's fine. I hate it when that happens, but it happens from time to time. Different cigar. It'll finish out this show. I'm sure of it. Intemperance by Romacraft. Good stick if you like a light stick. Oh, Steph, you wouldn't have to behave. You could just be Steph. Sharon, you're not fat. Quit it. Paul doesn't see it that way, and if he does, hit him in the head with a frying pan until he can't see you anymore, and he'll stop saying you're fat. And look, there it is. Paul just agreed with me. Mark, the thought is there. If I get this job working in this particular cigar shop, I'll see what I can do there. Steph would not go nuts. Skip would be there to make sure that that couldn't happen. Yeah. Now somebody's talking about real heat. How hot does it get in the sweat lodges, Steve or Miss Kathy? If you feel like giving for an example. Sweat lodges get very warm. Some people like to run them way too hot, though. No, Mark, there's no way I'm going to be the owner. Being that the owner is some guy in Spain. Altadis is a pretty big company. Though I wouldn't mind owning 50% of all Cuban tobacco. That would be pretty cool. Yeah, but Boris, the fun part about a sauna is that you run outside and you swim in the snow. And then you run back inside and sweat some more. Supposedly that'll take all kind of bad crap right out of your skin. Because you get it to the point where you're starting to really expand the skin, and then you flash freeze it and it squeezes all the crap out. Oh yeah, I'm not going to be having a voodoo cigar. I would be afraid that I would blend the perfect cigar for me and nobody would ever smoke it. I'd be out a couple $100,000, but I'd have some really, really nice sticks. And everybody would be asking for, well, where's the Lancero version? I don't have one. Or, where's the Torpedo or the Bellicoso? I don't have one of those either. This is actually a Bellicoso. You can see how it's kind of angled up a little bit there. And the top part of it, you can see, comes to a cone. Oh, don't worry about it, Mark. I was just being honest. If I ever thought I could own a cigar shop, I already know. It takes too damn much money to even open a shop now. That is true, Steve. It's definitely not mixed. Anytime you hear of a mixed men and women in a smoke tent or sweat lodge, that is not the way the American Indians ran their sweat lodges. It didn't happen that way. The only time that's ever allowed is if it's a married couple. Well, Mark, I'm pretty good with people. Because I can figure out what they like, and then I can turn them on to some good sticks that are within their price range. And that's really hard to do for most people. Because they get an idea that, oh, this is the best stick ever. and they try to sell it to everybody. There's sticks that I absolutely love and barely sell any of them to anybody because it's the wrong stick for that person or this other person. When I'm trying to sell somebody on a stick, I very rarely even mention the Alec Bradley black market. But I love those things. There you go, Steph. Now you're talking. That's the great part about tailgating. It's a good time to hang out, especially on Friday, unwind, let the week go. If everything went wrong, just set it aside for a couple of hours and just say, no, I'm not dealing with any of that crap right now. I'm taking a few hours to just be with myself and my people and have a bowl or two or a cigar or whatever. A drink if that's the way you feel like rolling. And I'm right there with Mark. It's hard to beat bourbon on Friday. But I had my glass of bourbon yesterday. If you were here yesterday, you heard that this arm was having a little bit of a trouble reaching above my head. And I said, you know what, I can either gulp down a couple of Tylenol and not feel it, or I can gulp down a goodly sized glass of bourbon and not care if I feel it. Bourbon won, and yeah, you know, it gives you that winning feeling. Oh, very nice, Steph. Very nice. We hear you, Steph. Awesome song reference. Thank you, Ram Jam. Mark, I would be hard-pressed to find anybody that I could disagree with you even partly on that statement. His free hands are just... I don't know how he can see the wood the way he does and then just get it to shape exactly the way he does. And they just all turn out as a amazing work of art that is completely smokable. Well, Boris, I'm not having a bourbon tonight, but I had one yesterday. There's no crowd pressure. Nobody feels pressure here. I mean, unless you want to have a bourbon, and if that's the case, go right for it. I remember spending a little time in Bourbon County. More than just a little, but I spent a little time in Bourbon County. I was drinking stuff I didn't even know how good it was. And now when I look back, I'm like, man, I wish I would have slowed down on some of that a little bit. Uh-oh, Mark's putting the throwdown challenge out there. My only throwdown challenge on bourbon was that time I drank a 1.75 liter of Turkey 101, except for 2 shots. The girl I was dating at the time and the roommate both got a shot, and then I bubbled the bottle. And for 6 days I regretted it. And it took me almost a year and a half before I could really drink turkey without having that queasy feeling. Steph, supposedly there's a karaoke contest tonight at Stampede Houston. I will not be attending. Stampede Houston is quite a bit on the north side for me, and I'm not going to be having a beer and driving. It's just not happening. Ooh, very good call there, Steve. Happy 50th to Doug. Remember, Matt will be coming on. Normally we do see Doug just before Matt goes live. Well, Steph, Uber from Stampede Houston back down to where I live is more than I'm willing to do. And Holly's already pretty much made the statement that, yeah, that's not happening. Is it a wee dram or just a wee dram? Though I do like some Maker's Mark. The fun of cracking that nice, pretty red wax off the bottle before you get your first pour. Oh, very nice, Derek. I've had some of that. The Maker's 46 cask strength. I like it a little bit better than the regular Maker's Mark. But not so much that I'm willing to pay that extra price. But if I had it, I'd drink it. That's for damn sure. Four Roses is good. Weller's is good. Oh, yeah. Even Odie wouldn't say different than that. And while a lot of people think Odie is the end-all, beat-all on bourbon, I could probably run shot for shot with him. Not a problem, Mark. We'll still be here. At least I'll be here on my phone. I didn't know that, Steve. I did not know. Well, I guess I should have known that Cliff recycles the wax. I saw a certain dollop of red wax on the letter he sent me. Howdy, Martin. Great to see you, sir. Will Derek be there tonight? Inquiring minds want to know. And will you be having another nub nuance? And really enjoying the whole Muletown series that you've been throwing together there, Martin. It was even mentioned recently in the Briar Report blob. Chip, I guess for me it would be Blanton's. But that goes back to I enjoy a good horse race. He will be and don't know yet. Taco. Why the taco? And it's 50 tacos for Doug. Don't know if you realize it, but this is Doug's birthday weekend. He turns 50. All good, Martin. It's a guapo taco. That, of course, is handsome taco. Steph, that is rare. Now, don't get me wrong, I like Weller and I like E.H. Taylor. I don't remember the last time I had Scherzer, the one that started with an S. Don't ask me to pronounce it. There's very few bourbons out there that I don't like. I guess the last time I had a bourbon I didn't like, it was called Bone. And it tasted like scotch. A very peaty scotch. Which I would have been okay if it had been listed as scotch, but it was listed as bourbon. I was expecting bourbon, not scotch. So, yeah. Good call, Martin. I see the reference. Yeah. Oh, yeah. E.H. Taylor used to be cheap. And then somebody says, oh, hell, this stuff's great. But they said it in a magazine somewhere, and suddenly you can't hardly find a bottle to buy. And Weller used to be really cheap. And then they came up in the world. Same reason. Oh, that's very cool, Mark. Anytime you can hang out with your kids and your grandchildren. That's pretty awesome. Martin, I've never thought Pappy was all that particularly great, especially compared to the price. Uh-oh. Mark's got to wean himself off of bourbon and start filtering in the coffee. Got to be sober when the grandchildren show up.
Says who?
Steph, I think I've had some of that. It's pretty good. Yeah, Martin, I remember those days. Those are long gone now, brother. Mark heard your says who. Well, Steph, if I can figure out a way to get it over to my phone fast enough, I'll show it. Yeah, Eagle Rare's pretty good. Ah. Damn sinuses. Oh, listen. The sound of mowing. Oh, let's see.
Does anybody else feel like you're yelling at them when you talk?
I don't know. Do y'all feel like I'm yelling at y'all when I'm talking? Holly and Gail always say I'm yelling.
You're loud.
They always say I'm loud. I don't think I'm that loud. Let me see. Let me see. Trying to figure out where I can save that to so that I can directly import it into this feed right now. Okay, I saved an image to my phone. Let me go find it now. Let me see here. Let's see if I can find it. Still looking. Okay, brought it over. Let's see what we can do here. This should show up here, about now. This is what Steph said. and we'll expand it up and then adjust it around. Let's see what we can do here. So bottled in bond, that means it is 100 proof. Kentucky straight corn whiskey distilled and bottled by Heaven Hill. Okay. Heaven Hill's some pretty good stuff. All right, and we're going to reduce it down out. I think I just disappeared it without trying. Howdy, Matthew. Great to see you, sir. And let's see, did anybody say that they thought I was yelling when I'm just talking? Howdy, James Stumbo. Sorry, I didn't see you come in because I was looking to try and add a picture to the live feed.
Hi, Tiggy.
Why am I screaming? Yeah. That's just his tone. Yeah, they'll all know when I'm really yelling. Oh yes, thus the old mower joke. That's the all ever continually horrible for the feed, isn't it? If I go live, somebody's going to have to mow or blow. I think right now I'm hearing more leaf blower than mower, but I mean, hey. And yes, I said it wrong on purpose just to be offensive. The one and only problem I have with Roma Craft cigars is that the band always gets stuck for me. No way I'm getting it off of there without tearing up the cigar. Oh well, I'll just smoke it until it burns off. Won't be the first time. Yeah, Bark, I'm fairly certain that Holly is not going to allow me to strip butt naked and go plant flowers in the front yard. Actually, she just said, yeah, whatever. Hey, second bus. Actually, third bus. If Tigger and
I'm paying attention.
Mikey get to going. Howdy, Cliff. Great to see you, sir. And Steph says, Holly, I'm loud on my lives also. I don't think you're loud, Steph.
Yeah, well, I'm not sitting 2 feet from her having to listen to it echo in the front yard.
So, my cat, the one named Trump, is afraid of the tripod cat that is the stray that is no longer a stray.
He paid his dues. Somebody shot him.
He got shot, shattered bone. He does get around very well on 3 legs, though. And he's kind of using the fourth leg a little bit. Not as much as a cat probably should. Whoa, Cliff, that is a lot of work. Of course, you got a bunch of kids. He says he's pickled 5 dozen eggs today and helped his wife make 168 sausage biscuits to freeze.
Holy shit.
And Holly's reply was, holy shit. Like I said, that's a lot of work. Good thing you got 6 kids, otherwise that food will die of frostbite before it ever gets it. Arkansas Duke game. I guess if I had to put money on that, I would bet on Coach K. But Arkansas has had a pretty good team this year. Mark, I would love to have Holly on screen with me.
Not gonna happen.
Did you hear her? Say it again, babe.
Not gonna happen.
One more time for the people in the back.
They heard me.
She says they heard me. Her reply, of course, was not going to happen. One of these days, I'm hoping to do a full-on series where she might actually be on camera, where we can talk about her memories and experiences in Russia before and after the coup. And yes, she literally left Russia as the coup was taking place. She said there were people hijacking airliners with butter knives just to get the hell out. Steph, the next live will be Matt, aka Glumchum. I'm sure he will love to have you there too. And now I'm slightly hungry for a sausage biscuit. Not a problem, Steph. You take care and be well. We'll see you there. Oh, what is it? About 45 minutes from now. That's about when Glumchum goes live. Oh, Bart, not a problem. I understand completely. She's much easier on the eyes than I am. But she said the chances of her being on my channel is about 0. But like I said, I'm still hopeful that I can get her on camera one day to talk about what was it like in Moscow at the very end of communism. And what was it like a few years later when she went back after they had embraced capitalism? Of course, she went back before Putin, so y'all don't get too upset with her. Were both trips in the 90s?
Yeah, so 91 and 97.
So there it is. She went in 91 and then went again in 1997. Damn near got mugged on the metro train. It's a funny story. There's the all hyped up version, and then there's the actual version. Both of them are funny. And no, she didn't go in and go, "I'm the machine." That's a different person that went to Russia. In case you're wanting to just laugh about some things that happened in Russia, watch Bert Kirshner, I am Machine, and
yeah, it's pretty accurate.
Holly says it's surprisingly accurate. And people are thinking he's joking. That's the problem, is that he might not be joking. That might have actually happened. Oh, Mark, yeah, that's the truth. Even Steve admitted to that when he said he was running his regular show and it really took off once he put Kathy on there with him. And Steve looks better than I do, so there you go. I know, I should take like some Vaseline and smear it over the camera so that it fogs everything out so that you can't really see me. Like as if I'm on witness protection or something. Steve, Holly already has free reign to get whatever she wants on her card. That's not going to be any kind of incentive for her. Not unless I have like some sort of lottery winnings that she can spend. And even then, she's still probably going to say, no, it's not happening. I'm just lucky enough that she puts up with me. It is not as if I'm the easiest person. I know this. She knows this. Y'all might not actually know this. I'm about as abrasive as 20 grit butt wipe. Think about it. Think about it. Yeah, we're talking like those big old rock salt size grit too. Mm-hmm. Not a problem, Mark. You take care. Love to your family. Have a great time. We'll see you when you not got something as important as that going on. And I completely agree with you. If I had a chance to sit with my son and my grandbaby, I wouldn't be tailgating. I'd be hanging out with my son and my grandbaby. I guarantee it. And my daughter-in-law. She's pretty awesome. Oh. I am fairly certain Martin is going to be asked a whole lot of questions about Muletown tonight. Remember, you might have enough time to go through his whole Muletown series between right now and when Martin goes live. And as I've always said, family first. I mean, come on. Yes, the YTPC is a family, but there's family and then there's family. Martin, I liked the Muletown videos. I thought it was well thought out. Oh my God, the guy with the St. Bernards had them shaved. I mean, all the way down to bare skin. They look so different, hairless. Right, Southern? Yeah, nobody noticed Martin was there at Muletown at all. It was all about hanging out with the night mutton chop and Willie and some guy named Doug. Martin, think about it. Long-haired dogs in Houston? Same reason I shaved my cat. I can't let Trump outside from May through August unless he's been shaved down. It'll kill him. Steve, that's hilarious. Yeah, let's see. I've been dulling out my eggs to myself very, very slowly. I have not shared with Holly or with Gail. Of course, they did not seem interested, but that's okay with me too. I can be greedy and not feel bad. And I did take the advice. You flip the jar every day, which keeps all the spices circulating so that the eggs end up really nicely flavored. By the way, Cliff, did you work through that tea sampler that was sent to you? My tripoded cat is crouched down, hiding behind a small canvas wall, making sure that the dogs that he hears cannot see him. And every little bit, he goes. Not a problem, Matthew. You take care. Southern, I apologize. There are dogs and school buses and squirrels and all kind of things that can set your dogs off, including mowing and leaf blowing. And yes, my studio is horrible, isn't it? But yes, this guy who has St. Bernards had his dogs shaved. Though I think it's too early in the season to shave them right now, because that means he's going to have to shave them again in August. Of course, if their hair grows fast, that shouldn't be an issue. We get Trump shaved in May, and then by the time it starts cooling off, he's got a decent coat ready to go. Right now he's looking a bit furry. But it's only another month and a half. Well, month and a week. And he looks so funny because his hair is most of him. His tail is skinnier than a pinky. Right now it looks like a big fat sausage. Well, furry sausage, but still. I did not know that there are short-haired St. Bernards. Well, his dogs are not the short-hair breed. They were looking pretty shaggy about a week ago. But they're all smoothed down to the skin right now. No big deal, just you don't expect to see it. And then when you see it, you realize what it is, you're going like, oh, okay, no big deal. But I still think it's a little too early in the season to be shaving longer haired animals. But, well, hey, it's 80 degrees today. The problem there is it was 45 degrees this morning. Well, it might be he didn't want to pay that extra rarity fee for a purebred that is also a short-haired. Dogs are big money. You get the right breed, you can get $1,000 a pup. It's ridiculous. There's also a guy that walks a poodle that looks almost exactly like Neptune. For those of y'all who remember Charlie. By the way, has everybody been noticing that Charlie pretty much has the same exact channel, but it's under a new URL? And that everybody's been bagging on him lately? Well, not everybody. I haven't. And in case y'all are wondering what I was doing not looking at the camera, I was cutting this band off. still a little upset that the first cigar did not smoke, or would not smoke. Nothing I could do could keep the damn thing lit. It happens. It's rare, but it happens. Steve, that's very true with Great Danes. Yeah. I could see you thinking, is that a horse or a dog? Uncle of mine had Great Danes, and on all fours, he could set his head on the dinner table, and from right there, he could clear a good quarter of it, move to another side, and get the next quarter. You could not leave anything on the dinner table. Unless, of course, you wanted to make sure that that dog was eating your food. You get up to answer the phone? Oh no, you better pick up your plate. I mean, there's giraffes, Gene Simmons, and then Great Danes. A tongue about 3 miles long, just saying. Which reminds me, gentlemen, if y'all are out there having a hard time picking up the ladies, just remember, walk up, lick your eyebrows, she's yours. Don't blame me for being correct. A lot of traffic down my street today, which is unusual because there's not really anywhere to go. Go down the street, make a 90-degree turn, very short little block over, make another 90-degree turn, back down the other street out to the main drag, and you're out of here. It's nothing but a great big U-turn. Are the kids over there okay?
I was just trying to figure out what she was doing, but it looks like maybe she stepped in dog poop.
Might have been Saint Bernard.
Could have been.
You kind of have to watch where you're stepping when people walk their dogs up and down the block on the sidewalks. Every once in a while, they'll leave you a present. At least cats are good enough to cover it back up. Well, if they can. So, Steve, what was the baddest bull you ever rode? Trying to pique some interest on a certain Saturday live show that's supposed to be coming up tomorrow. I will honestly say I never rode a bull. But I did see some of the baddest of the bad. I saw Bodacious a time or two. Which I would say that's probably the baddest of ever. great big ass Charlet. He had this habit. He'd jump up and get that back end so that it was vertical. And as soon as his front hooves touched, he'd bounce and flop ends, and he'd bring that big ass head straight up into your face. It'd hit you like a wrecking ball, and next thing you knew, you were waking up in the hospital, if you were waking up. Even that bull got rode 3 times, if I remember correctly. Steve can probably correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was a guy named Tough that rode him twice. And one other guy rode him once. I wouldn't have even stepped into the damn gate with him. No. Yellow Jacket. Woo! There's a name out of history. Hell yeah. Yep, Steve says he thinks I'm right about Tough. I don't remember the guy's last name. Started with an H, if I remember correctly. But I always want to think Hennessy for some reason, and I know that that ain't right. That's just another reason to forget your night. But yeah, you can Hedeman? That might be right. Probably is, Cliff. Probably is. You could YouTube Yellow Jacket, and you could YouTube Bodacious. You'll see a lot of things that'll make you cringe. Hell yeah, Mark, I'd take it too. I'm surprised you let him go that quickly. Lane Frost's best friend. I seem to remember that name too, from somewhere. I know Tough was a big draw in Houston every time he'd show up for the rodeo. Mark, I understand that completely. Oh, Luke Perry played Tough in the movie 8 Seconds.
Yes.
Probably why I didn't watch that movie. I know that he's a lot more beat up than people think he is.
Who?
Tough Hedeman. Oh, Luke Perry played Lane Frost. Okay. I didn't see every movie under the sun. I've seen a bunch of movies. I think I missed 8 seconds by, just no interest. Not so much no interest in the sport of bull riding. Just really no interest in any of the actors that were in the movies. Kind of like that girl that is in the Twilight movies. I see if her name's even in the movie, and I'm like, yeah, I'm out. No. Don't remember her name either.
Kristen Stewart.
Holly knows. And her boyfriend, whatever his name is, he was just real good at dying. He died in one of the Harry Potter movies, too.
Robert Pattinson.
I'll take your word for it. Whew, that is definitely true. The clowns out there in the bull ring, they're out there risking life and limb just to try and keep other people safe. I mean, that's like running into a war zone with a sign that says, "Shoot me, please." There are safer occupations than being a clown at the rodeo. Good question there, Boris. Good question. He said, wonder who played the bulls. Well, back in the 90s, it was every team that wanted to lose. That's who played the bulls. Basketball reference, sorry. But a good basketball reference. No, I didn't like Michael Jordan. I respected his skills. I didn't really much care for... I was a Charles Barkley fan. What do you want? Yes, I know. Charles has got no rings. He did get MVP of an Olympics, though. Just saying. Oh, my goodness. So let's see what time we're at right now. 5:12. All right. 17 minutes until Matt goes live. We've covered pretty much everything, haven't we? cigar was done. Got down to the point where I was done with it anyways. Yeah, all the rodeos I liked, or sorry, all the events at the rodeo I liked. Oh, not a problem, Boris. You take care. We will see you definitely on Martin's show. If you don't make it to Matt's show. And remember, Cane Rod is after Matt. And then, of course, there's Martin. We know I'm going to be there at Martin's show. I can't let Boris catch up to me. I've got a certain number of hours in, and I'm just in front of Boris, so I got to be there. I guess I'm a glutton for punishment. Which two, Southern? Are you going to try and make Glum Chums and Cane Rods and Martins? Because that's 3. They're great shows. Very entertaining. Anyways, back to my favorite event at the rodeo is always the mutton bustin'. When they let the little kids ride the mutton. Here, hang on. Can you get to the other end of the arena? It's always fun. And then, of course, there's the calf scramble. Not a problem, Cliff. I understand completely. Family first. It's always been a statement of mine. They release, what? 30 or 40 head of young cattle. And these teenagers go out there and try to drag a calf inside of a certain marked off area. And if they do drag a calf into that marked off area, they get to raise it in an FFA thing.
And then it gets sold at auction the next year.
Yeah, normally it's sold at auction the very next year. Not a problem, Steve. I understand completely. If you're going live in the morning, you might not want to be hanging out until 10 or 11 o'clock at night. It gets difficult. But I'm always up early. Hanging out with Martin, I'm normally damn near falling asleep. But I'm up by 5 o'clock in the morning every morning. Well, that's when the alarm clock goes off. Has for years. I'm just too stubborn to change my ways, I guess. Yeah, but Martin, you're falling asleep because we make you take shots. Ooh, Springfield Armory 1911. Very nice. Which caliber, Cliff? A lot of people do not know that the 1911 can be fit to Good Lord, there's a whole bunch of calibers. Let's not just start naming them all off, but I mean, 45 is the most common, but I've seen them in 9mm, and there we go, 45 ACP. Now, y'all be careful. Holly's good with 45. We went 9mm so that things wouldn't knock the mother-in-law over if she decided she needed to use one, but you only got to shoot them once with a 45. That's the reason for the 45. It's slow, but when it gets there, it has some knockdown power.
What, a 45?
Oh, yeah.
You can shoot a 45 in 6-inch heels on the move.
Holly likes to say, I could shoot a 45 in 6-inch heels on the move. Of course, I call them her ballerina slippers because as short as her feet are, she's almost standing on her toes. Cliff, that is very true. The 9mm 1911 is a very low recoil, but with the extra capacity in the mag, and 9mm still has plenty enough kick when it hits target. Very true, Mark and Cliff. Yes, there's a lot of people that look down on the 9mm. But again, if you're talking about possibly someone who is elderly using it,
it'll deter an idiot. That's all I need.
I mean, they kick in the door, they're still dead. Really, they just better hope that I'm not real close to them with a knife, because then they're in for a really long, slow, painful death. But that's a different story. Woo! I mean, I wouldn't mind 45. Not a problem for me. I'm not going to fall down from it, but looking at the recoil and for the safety of the user, and if the mother-in-law needed it and had it in hand and was able to use it, I don't want her to break a hip. And yes, Mark, I saw that same video you did, I'm fairly certain, where Doc Higgins had to go to Doc Holiday's and get himself a t-shirt or 4. I'm fairly certain one of his favorite phrases is, "I'm your Huckleberry." Not a problem, Cliff. You take care. Have fun with those pork chops. I know I would. Pork chops. Quick, easy, tasty. It's just the truth of pork chops. And don't worry, we're only 7 minutes until Glumchum's supposed to go live. That's really an extremely short amount of time. Grand scheme of things, it's no time at all. Oh, goodness gracious. Had a busy day. Got up, did some shopping, did some more shopping, took a vehicle up to the car wash, got it done. Well, I did it, but still. It got done. That's what counts, right? Very true, Mark. Unfortunately, have you been watching the kids these days? A lot of them seem to be regressing instead of progressing. It's like smartphones have
made them stupid.
Definitely made them stupid. That and being raised by PlayStation and Xbox. They can't seem to pull away from that screen long enough to do much of nothing. That is true, Mark. The whole idea of smartphones and this, that, the other is all media driven and government backed. Makes it easier to control people. They say, hey, look over here, look over here. They don't show you this hand over here is doing something under the table. That's both sides of the government. Let's not sit there and go Republican or Democrat or independent. That's, like we said earlier, there is no way for someone who is making $275,000 a year to go from being worth $225,000 to being worth $4 million in 4 years without some underhanded dealing. Now, see, Steve, that's where a lot of guys get the wrong idea. I've seen a lot of women that are way better shots than men. Heck, I was just watching a video the other day on YouTube where this woman was hitting targets at right around 2 miles. I can't even see 2 miles. At 2 miles, the target looks like just a little blurry dot. Well, that's for me. And she was out there dead center, 2 miles. That's ridiculous levels. But hey, if you can shoot that far, more power to you. I only got to be able to hit something to the end of the street. Either way, it's about the same distance. Mark, I didn't pay attention to which caliber she was using. seems to me, looking in my memory at the firearm, it was a Creedmoor. I'll have to go back and watch it. Some of the weird things I like to watch. What do you want? Yes, I'm impressed with someone who can see 2 miles and actually hit a target. Because I can't. You know what comes into play at hitting a target 2 miles off? Everything. Humidity, temperature, spin drift, rotation of the earth, the amount of drop due to gravity. Everything comes into play. That's true, Mark. Snipers can win wars. And that's why Vietnam put such a big old bounty on the head of Carlos Hathcock way back in the day. I mean, they say, oh, he's got 93 confirmed kills. But let's remember, there were a lot of those kills that were probably kills that could not be confirmed because you couldn't get into the area to confirm them. What are you going to do? I wouldn't know how to get in there. I'm not even going to try. By the way, it is officially 5:30. Glumchum should be starting up his live stream about now. So we're going to get on out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been so much fun having y'all over this evening. So glad that y'all could join me. Glad we could hang out. Hopefully it was somewhat entertaining. We would definitely like to remind y'all first, take care of yourselves and each other. Do the best you can with that. And as per always, remember, long lives, big bowls, and long ashes. Y'all take care. And I will see you at Matt's house here in just a minute. At least I hope so. Talk to you soon. Bye for now. Oh, howdy, Scott. Great to see you. I know you were probably lurking. It's fine. Talk to y'all later. Bye for now.